Hello everybody, how's it going, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. Today, we are looking at a mod that is kind of Battle Royale-y, but does not involve Battle Royale because it does not need Battle Royale. As you can see, your usual countries don't exist anymore. What exists now are ideologies. This is World Ideology War, so the world is split up into the main ideologies of democracy, neutrality, communism, and fascism. Everything is split. It's pretty even overall. I think democracy is actually getting a little bit of a shit stick here. Neutrality's got a fucking... Jesus Christ. But yeah, so you've got communism and neutrality, you've got democracy, you've got fascism, and it's fighting it out, seeing who is the superior. Now, they all have a fuck ton of units to start with. So, like, for example, there's 30 goddamn fascist units sitting in Birmingham. There's 32 communist units. There's 24 democracy units. Gee, I wonder who's going to lose that one. Neutrality's got 44 divisions sitting in former Poland, a bunch of units sitting in northern France. So, yeah, there's a ton of units to start with. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of units to start with. So I'm really hoping this doesn't crash, like, fucking immediately. But we're going to see what and who, which ideology is going to come out. So leave a comment currently, right now, before we start this, who you want and think is going to win. I need you to comment that right now before we start. Who do you think is going to win? Leave that comment. Don't leave it afterwards. Don't be a pansy. Come on. Vote for your favorite to win. Just do it. All right. Also, before we start, too, I just want to give a shout out to Calm Down Level Up. He's going for 20,000 subs. He's a great friend of mine. If you want to go subscribe to him, he's in my other channel box on my channel. He's like the third one down, I think, and I'll put a link to his channel in the description as well. Also, if you're a fan of, he does a little bit of Hearts of Iron, but if you're a fan of strategy stuff like Supreme Ruler, especially, Adept is a pretty great dude as well. Definitely go subscribe to him. This is very Eurocentric, I realized, because fascism, democracy, and neutrality have their capitals in Europe. Yeah, I imagine communism is in Moscow. Of course it is. Democracy is in London. Fascism started in Birmingham, and neutrality started in Brest, which actually France, yeah, fine. I can accept that. Fascism in Birmingham, I can accept that, but can you? Can you accept that, people that live in Birmingham? Please don't leave a comment yelling at me. All right, let's get this started. Let's fight. Holy shit, that's a lot of fucking generals. Jesus Christ. Nobody is messing around here. So the fascists, the Democrats, the communists, and the neutrality all just have a stupid amount of generals immediately. There's a lot of fighting and shit happening immediately. Lots of places getting bogged down. Fascism is getting absolutely destroyed in its own root area by the communists. The Democrats are also putting up a bit of a fight on the line, but it looks like they're on a more defensive end. I think they've gained a little bit of land north of London here, but the communists just bowled in. I feel bad. It's very unfortunate. But this war is going to go on for probably quite some time. Now, unit-wise, what do we have? We have 294 neutrality. Fascism looks like they've got pretty close to that. Democracy, wow, they've got a fuck ton. And communism has a shit ton. Communism definitely seems to have the upper hand in units, but we'll have to see how that's really going to go, because neutrality is actually doing quite well right now against the communist front lines in Scandinavia, as well as in some portions near what would be the border of Kazakhstan. And parts of the northern Caspian here. Communists, of course, also have to fight the fascists, which have a pretty strong enclave going on. The Democrats are getting absolutely slaughtered in Greece. I kind of feel bad. But the fascists have a pretty strong core in the north of the Caucasus Mountains. So they're probably going to do a well job defending. They're going to have to worry about Istanbul and that isthmus. If they can put on a good defense there, they're probably going to be okay, but they have no troops on it right now, so the Democrats can actually kind of just waltz into Turkey. The Democrats also forming a front line. I apologize for, oh my god, look at all these generals. Look at them all. There's so fucking many of them. This is insane. Who is this? This is the fascists. I have to say, I love how they just have Adolf Hitler's shadow, and I love the flag. I think the flag is pretty fucking funny. I don't know. I just find it funny how they have a shadow of Hitler. Fascism looks like they're trying to link up their two sides here. So democracy is kind of sandwiched in Pakistan right now. Fascism is in India, but it looks like the Democrats have navally invaded down here in Goa. I don't think they owned that land. So they've navally invaded in Goa, or Goya. And they're fighting pretty hard to keep control of parts of Thailand and Burma, as well as Bangladesh. So good on them. They're doing what they can. They're doing what they can. These generals, oh my fucking Christ. The neutrality people have it a little bit better. The communists are fighting the neutralis people. I don't know. In China, so that's a pretty big stronghold. They've lost Beijing to the monarchies. Essentially, that's what neutrality really is. It's monarchy. I mean, look at this fucking guy. He's a monarch. You look at this guy and tell me he's not a king, and I will slap you silly, sir. I do believe he is a rightful king. Democracy's doing well in Japan, though. I mean, the fascists only hold southern Japan, so we'll see how that continues to go. In North America, this was split pretty much evenly into 4 chunks in America, and we can see now that we've spaghettified it a little bit. So the communists and the neutral are definitely fighting it out the heaviest. The Democrats are kind of trying their hardest, but they're really not doing a fantastic job in Western Canada right now, attempting a defense. They just surrounded one of their units, though, which is good for them. The Democrats, I really don't have that much hope for, unfortunately. They have a few big strongholds, but they really don't have much going on. Their biggest stronghold is here in Africa, definitely. They're fighting some of the communists here in northern Libya near Tripoli, but they really just, I don't know, they don't seem to have the muster. They're losing in Greece. They have some fallback lines. They've got some decent lines here in Istanbul too for fallback, but the fact that they're relying on a fallback line already is pretty shitty. The neutral, oh my god. So the neutrality has been pretty much kicked out of Europe at this point. So the communists and the fascists sandwiched them, and there's only pockets of neutrality left in Europe, besides Ireland, of course. Ireland, how many troops are in Ireland? Good, only 1, okay. I'm glad the mod maker didn't just waste, oh my fucking god, communism. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That's bonkers. The Democrats, you can tell, are kind of losing ground. They don't have as much in the way of, actual stuff. So does that mean the neutrality is closest to capitulation? They are 41% on the way to capitulation. The communists are the least amount. They're 11%, followed by, I do believe, yes, democracy at 20 and fascism at 26. But fascism's been fighting a pretty hard stanced war against the neutralists, and they've been pushing a little bit on the communists on this side. Yeah, neutrality's been doing quite well actually in Northern Europe. I shouldn't say they're kicked out of Europe. They own Scandinavia pretty much hardcore, and they're pushing on the communists pretty heavy on that front as well. They pretty much have stalemated here at the Ural Mountains. The communists have actually pushed in a little bit, but I mean, one cut off here could kill off that communist whatever's in here and turn that tide. As well, the neutralities. Really need to find a word for that. Neutralists? I don't know. Leave a comment. What do you think neutrality should be? Because the communists, you have that. You have the fascists and the Democrats. But neutrality, what are they? Neutralists, I guess? Neutralists? I don't know. I'm not really sure what that would be. Fascism also has what? I don't understand. Democracy hasn't made a move on fascism in southern Japan either for some reason. Like, they have a few troops kicking around. They really don't have anything in Korea anymore because the neutralists are pushing on the communists pretty heavy. They want to get them kicked out of there. Because if they can kick the communists out, that's one powerful faction they're not fighting anymore in there. The Democrats in Asia are doing really, really well. So they've invaded successfully Goa. They've kept that invasion up. They've cut off this southern bit so they could take all of that if they wanted to. So they're actually doing very, very well. They've pushed out into India, which is fantastic. They're starting to strangle the communists in Indochina, and they're going to start pushing on the fascists in southern China here sooner than later. So they're actually doing very, very well in Asia. So the Democrats are definitely the Asian dominant faction here. In Africa, nothing really is happening. Nobody's really pushing much. Like, I don't even think the fascists have any troops in there. If they do, it's only one or two. Neutralists are kind of just sitting on this border. They're not really pushing much. Most of the fighting is happening here. The communists are pushing through Libya. They're getting pretty close to the Egyptian border. And then there's fighting in the Levant happening. The Democrats have pushed against the fascists in the south of Turkey right now. Although they're getting attacked. They've lost Istanbul there too, which isn't good. And do they hold on to their current capital? So London still holds for them. The fascists have moved to Amsterdam. I'm not sure where neutrality has moved to for their capital. That's the only thing. I don't know where they are now. North America, possibly somewhere? Yes, they've moved to Los Angeles. Great area for your monarchy. Speaking of Los Angeles and North America, the communists are definitely winning here. So communist North America is pushing pretty easy on the fascists now. I think they've more or less collapsed the fascist army in North America. The Democrats are still holding pretty strong, and so is the neutralists. I'm going to call them neutralists from now on. Fuck it. They're holding on pretty strong, but they're definitely starting to collapse now. They're getting some surrounded troops here. Pardon me. There's also some surrounded ones in here. It's like the fascists. They're holding on to some city-states and stuff like that, like New Orleans. They're trying to hang on to this area in here. They're trying to hang on to, but they're going to definitely lose out. They had Little Rock, and then these guys got surrounded, I think, which isn't good. The fascists, really, they should abandon this part of North America and pull all those troops into Mexico and try to invade north so that their front isn't as bad. Because you could easily take out Cologne, take that out, form a front here on this one, just death stack them, and then only fight one front war. That might be favorable, but I don't think the AI is actually smart enough to do that. The neutralists just split the Democratic African nation too. So the Democrats have nothing in the Horn now. So neutralists could just move in and take that completely out, and then start moving north through Egypt and suffocate because the Democrats' main military for the Middle East and Africa and stuff is in here, so they could surround and kill them off. That would be really good. The main European fighting force is in Spain and some in Italy, but not a whole lot. It looks like they're more so desperately trying to hang on to Greece. So they're trying desperately to keep a hold on Greece, which makes sense because honestly, if you go back in history, the birthplace of democracy is Athens. So I mean, you know, we'll see. Communists though are pretty much dominating Europe at this point. There's pockets of fascism. The neutrality has attempted a naval invasion, fairly successful in Normandy too. Like they've actually taken quite a bit. Good for them. They've really done it. They've done a good job. The communists are about to smother the last bits of democracy in Britain. So the communists have control of Britain. It's not looking great in Europe for anybody other than communism at the moment, though the Democrats are fighting pretty hard. I'll give them that. They're doing a good job. Neutrality just got smothered there. A bunch of their troops just got surrounded. Fascism still fighting in a lot of these pockets, and they don't seem to want to give up in these pockets. Oh, that one just fell. They're trying their best. So Amsterdam fell. So I'm trying to think, where would the fascists move their capital to? I would assume they'd move it somewhere that's more secure. So I'm going to guess it's probably in America as well now. Somewhere. Oop. No, maybe not. I don't know where the fascists moved their capital to. I have no idea. They've moved it somewhere. I don't know where. Democracy is taking over fascism. Democracy has moved their capital into Canberra in Australia, which makes sense because they have good control of Australia going on there. So that makes the most sense, if I'm honest. I don't know where the fascists have moved it to. Because their current best holding is probably in southern Africa right now, because nobody's really threatening that at the moment, or Mexico, because Mexico is pretty stable for them. They really don't have much in, like, fascism's really losing right now. Democracy is destroying them in Asia pretty effectively at this point. The neutralists, once they clean up the communists here, are going to go after the fascists in southern China, and then they'll also have to deal with, once the communists get kicked out of here, the Democrats. So, I mean, Yeah. Oh, the fascists moved to Nagasaki. Here we go. Okay. Probably not the best idea, considering the most of that island is controlled by the Democrats. And you have one unit, I think. Oh, no, the 2 units in there. But this one guy could just walk into Nagasaki and just really fuck you up. Because the fascists now are 57% towards capitulating, which I think is catching up to the neutralists, 61%, so they're catching up. The communists are still only 19%, and the Democrats are 37%, so the communists are still ahead, mostly because of their European domination and that they haven't lost their initial capital of Moscow, though the fighting here is still fierce enough. If the Democrats would just fuck off on this line, that would be the best, because the neutralists can just have a stable front here to push into the communists. That would be good. The Democrats also doing quite well. They've retaken Brest. It looks like they're trying to join up this front, so they have a more stable front. They've surrounded Bordeaux as well. They've taken Marseille, I think is how you actually pronounce it, and Nice, which is great. They've lost Italy pretty much fully at this point. They're being sandwiched between the communists and what's left of the fascist Italy. And Athens doesn't look like it's going to stay under their control for very long. They're doing really well in Turkey against the fascists. I think the fascists are really starting to collapse. Unit-wise, they're not even at the democratic level. The communists are still really up there, which is kind of not good. They haven't had a major defeat anywhere besides China. That could be their first major defeat if the neutralists can really get a grip there. But the Democrats are starting to move into Korea, which isn't good. It's just not good. Not going well for fascism right now. The Democrats have kind of come back. I thought they were going to get beat out first, but now I'm not so sure. Fascism or democracy, I think either of those could fall first. I know neutrality is not having a great, go about it, especially in Europe, but they still have Finland and parts of northern Norway and Sweden. They have a huge swath of Asia, massive swath of Asia, a huge amount of Africa, still a decent chunk in South America, though they are kind of starting to lose that to communism. The communists as well are fighting them in here. If they lose Los Angeles, that's going to be a big blow. I don't think they can take too many more capital hits, if I'm totally honest. I really wish the fascists would get their ass kicked out of here, because their capital is just sitting there, and like the Democrats could invade it really easily. Like, get the hell out of Korea. Korea doesn't matter. Get on to Japan. Take out their capital to push fascism towards the brink. Like, come on, guys. You have the chance here. North America is pretty much now cleaning up the fascists in Quebec and the Maritimes and parts of New England, cleaning out the neutralists in California and the West Coast, and then it's going to be a fight between democracy and the communists. That's how it's going to really go down. There might be a fascist fight in South America if the Mexican fascists can get a grip, but I don't think they can. They don't look too healthy right now. They're kind of on a defensive end right now, so we'll see what happens. Because they seem to be actually winning these fights here in New England right now, which is good for them, but we'll see how long that lasts. Hopefully long enough, but we will see. They're almost gone from Europe now, which is kind of sad. A lot of units now taking attrition. These guys here are still fighting pretty tooth and nail. They're not taking the attrition quite yet because they still own this airbase, which is giving them some supply. But they're pretty much completely gone from Europe. The Democrats, we'll see how well they do now that the communists will turn on them in Europe for the most part. We'll see how they hold up. I don't think they'll do too well, if I'm honest. If I'm totally honest. The Democrats have pretty much kicked the fascists out, too. They're fighting in Turkey, and there's fighting going on in Iran now, for the most part, parts of northern Afghanistan. I think Kabul should be around here somewhere. Oh, is that Kabul? No, not Kabul. Herat. Or am I just really off fucking target here? No, Kabul's right here. So yeah, the Democrats have control of Kabul, which is good for them. They're getting pushed back though from the communists here, which isn't good. I was really hoping the communists would get fully defeated in Asia. because they can get fully defeated in Asia. Oh shit, the fascists are moving in to take all of Japan now, which is interesting. Democracy just pretty much, yeah, has killed off these guys here. They're surviving because of that airbase. Yeah, so the Democrats probably have killed them off and now have full control of Australia, New Zealand. Quite a bit of Oceania, in fact, is under democratic control. Just Indonesia, parts of Papua New Guinea here need to be retaken, and what's left in Australia here needs to be retaken. Well, that's really about it. That's really about it. You see, they're now 73%, 65. So they're now ahead. So the neutralists now are not in last place for getting eaten alive. Like if the fascists lose Nagasaki in a naval invasion of some description, that would be very, very, very bad. Very, very bad. Also, neutrality is getting pushed back in Scandinavia now, which is really bad, because that was one of the few pushbacks to communism that they actually had, and now the communists have started to push them back as well into Kazakhstan, into the plateaus, which is bad. Really bad for fascism too, because that means the communists could open up another front and squish them here, which would make fascism lose pretty much all they have left, honestly. I'm waiting for a peace deal to happen, because it's going to be an interesting peace deal when one of these finally does fall. I'm interested to see what happens and who gets what and how they're able to hold it. So the Democrats now have to fight the communists in Denmark. Doesn't seem to be going very well for the Democrats in Denmark. They have a very small force trying to take out neutrality up here. Looks like neutrality... Yeah, they've got a pretty decent troop line going there, but a lot of them now are surrounded, which is bad. That's very bad. Get them out of there and put a front there, and then front up here, and put a defense on if you can. The fascists are starting to lose a grip on China. The communists are starting to push in a little bit. The communists up here still aren't strong enough to be able to push back against the fascists in the north, though. They're still really fighting neutrality, which is not going super well for either side. They seem to surround each other quite a lot, and nobody seems to be able to kill them. Democracy is doing well, pushing out of Korea. They're starting to get into parts of southern Manchuria now, which is great, and even starting to look at parts of Russia if they can get there. Fascism has pretty much now taken Japan, which, fine. Replace him with Hirohito, because Germany's dead, so just replace him with Hirohito and we're good. Yeah, but the Democrats now are starting to probably falter. The Bordeaux area that they had contained is now starting to break out, and they're not able to contain it again, which is really bad. If they were able to contain and push them out of Bordeaux and frontline there, they might have a chance, but I don't know. I can't see it. The Democrats now, too, communists and neutrality, has pushed them out of Egypt fully, so they only control pieces of the Levant and Turkey now, which is very bad for them. The fascists are getting pushed through. So the fascists held them pretty easily north of the Caucasus Mountains, but now they've been pushed down south, and they're deep into Prussia now. The Tehran is about to be taken, which is unfortunate for the fascists. That's going to cost them quite a bit of points. Quite a bit of victory points there, which is bad. Really bad for them. I mean, some of their fascism getting taken out of the Middle East and stuff means that their South Africa, Asian ambitions here, so the whole Japanese island and China is their strongest holdings, because North America is not looking great for them either. The communists have started to push into Mexico. Of course, they've been pushing up and through. They haven't been able to move past Boston, but they're starting to move into Quebec, so they could surround them in Boston and wipe them out, but we'll see what happens there, because the communists now are facing off against a very determined Democratic faction, who has done fairly well. This is the democracy's strongest point, I think. North America there, and India here. I think if they lose both of those, they're screwed. I mean, don't get me wrong. This what I would have said this is the strongest because they are pushing on the communists. They're still pushing on the communists, but they can't contain Bordeaux. If they cannot contain Bordeaux, eventually Bordeaux is going to squish them, which is bad. And they've already surrounded units in here, so it's already not good. The Democrats need to contain this. They need to turn some troops around. They need to go on the defensive on the front line and go on the offensive here and kick them out. So they can't kick them out. They're dead. They're all dead. I mean, communism right now is looking to be the favorite to win this. It's just who is going to be the last holdouts against the commies when it comes to that. Also, is this mod smart enough to actually do naval invasions? That's my question as well. Because if they're not, fascism probably just will never fucking die. Same with democracy, because they're in Australia. So yeah, neutrality could still die, because I don't actually know where their capital is anymore. Because didn't they get kicked out of wherever the fuck they were? Neutrality, where is your capital? I forget. Oh, it was Los Angeles. I don't know if they've been kicked out of that yet. Well, they have. Where did they move their new capital to? That's what I want to know. Please don't be somewhere really dumb. Neutrality, where's your capital at? Oh, they're starting to defend Africa more. That could be bad for the fascists. Neutrality, where did you move your capital to? Where did you go? Where did you go? I'm literally, yeah, I'm viewing them now. I should see a green thing. Oh, hello. Unless that was their last capital before capitulating. I hope not. I don't think so. I actually have no idea where they went. They moved their capital and I don't know where they are. Oh, there it is, Helsinki. Ooh, that's a bad choice. Ooh, that's a very bad choice. You're 78% towards capitulation. You're tied with fascism right now. Helsinki is a very poor choice for a capital. You should be doing what the others are doing and move to an island or something. Somewhere safer. Do you own any islands? I don't think they actually do. Oh, they do. They could move to Greenland or Iceland. Or they could move to fucking Ireland. They could go there. Democracy still exists in Plymouth, by the way, which is interesting. Yeah, see, the Democrats now are sandwiched between this communist and the main communist force. They're all just gonna die. They have no chance anymore. It's all over for the Democrats in Europe. Their only chance is the Democrats in India right now. Which oh, Jesus, communism. Communism is still taking this war very, very seriously. To be fair, so is everybody else. But, I mean, they have less units now. Like, fascism, for example, is down to only 139 divisions. What are we at for... Oh, fuck. What is the Democrats at? Democrats... Oh, wait. Why am I in communism right now? Communists have 526 divisions. That's the fascists. I want the Democrats. Give me democracy. No. There we go. What are we at for the Democrats? 297, okay. So they still pose a threat. And neutrality is sitting at 180, so they're starting to collapse as well. The less units they have, the more they're going to collapse. They're going to lose quite a few units through this one here, too, because they're going to get quite a few units surrounded and killed. Like, it looks like neutrality's moved into... Well, they did. They were in Africa. Oh, no, they're in Arabia. So they're trying to defend Arabia now, which makes sense. They got communists in there. They're also starting to kind of move, and they don't really know what to do. And I don't blame them. I don't know what to do either. You're pretty screwed. Looks like democracy has pushed back against the communists again, and they've pushed them back down towards Saigon. Whether that'll stay or not, I don't know. Probably not. Because they seem to abandon that front before they can take them out fully. They should be pushing into here to kill them off, kill these ones off, you know, then strangle this off. Because they've killed the fascists pretty well in here. Now they're fighting the communists. It's going to be Democrats versus communists at this rate. Actually, I think that's probably how it's going to come down. The communists have less than they did before. They have 8% now. They had 19. Now they've only got 8. Democracy is in second place at 64%. Neutrality is 77%. And fascism is 76 towards capitulation. I think they gained some back when they took over all of Japan. I think that's how that worked. I'd like to see some naval invasions into Japan, because there's no units here. Literally none. There's one guy up here, but he'll never get down there in time. He can easily invade, take Nagasaki, and be done with it. Has Helsinki fallen yet? No. Helsinki is still up, but all these units now are surrounded either between the Democrats or the Communists, and you might want to walk towards the Democrats if you're going to get captured. They'll probably treat you a little better. I don't think the Communists are very happy. The Communists now are moving into Scandinavia too from the south, so the Democrats don't have much time. They're gonna find themselves screwed here. This fighting force. Look how far they've moved, though. If they were able to contain Bordeaux, they would have had a chance to actually get to Moscow. That's the thing that bugs the shit out of me. Is the AI was too stupid to get more units to that location to kick them out of Bordeaux before this happened. Because this all came. They had the area around Bordeaux. That's all they had. The Democrats could not kick them out of Bordeaux, and that completely screwed them. And that's going to have the Democrats lose, like, a crap ton of units. You can see they're getting into desperation stages here now. But they're going to lose a shit ton of units because of that, and that's just a damn shame. It's a damn shame. Oh, man. These poor units. So now, yeah, the Democrats are fighting there. Well, there's a couple of neutral units trying to defend an area there, but I don't think that matters too much. Helsinki will stay for a little while because the Democrats and the Communists are going to start fighting now, but I don't think it'll last. I don't think it'll last too long, if I'm honest. Also, neutrality is starting to lose Arabia. They've been pushed back. They owned more of it before. The Fascists as well are pushing up into Africa. As soon as they hit the Communist lines, though, it's going to be shit for them because that's the Fascists', I think, biggest area of land that they still own. Oh, they're doing some pushback here in South America, too. Taking out some of the communist areas. So they might not be totally screwed yet. Well, they've also fought back a little bit here. They've taken some land. Although they're going to lose. They've lost Boston and that area. So that's not good. That's going to screw them. Looks like the communists have been pushing back against the Democrats as well. Well, the Democrats have been pushing back in the south. Neutrality still has some areas like Seattle under their control, northern California for a little bit here, but they're pretty much all dead. Even though there's a port here, they're all like dead units. They're trying to get them out, trying to evac. Where are they going to evac to, though? They're losing South America as well. They're doing some fight back, but they're losing pretty heavily. I would move them to Africa and push back against the fascists. See if you can't control Africa at this point. Oh, the Democrats. Oh, man. That's just a gross fight. Oh, democracy landed at Hull. They're trying to take over the British Isles. I want to see the communists. Here we go. So the communists have a few divisions defending. They don't have all that much, though. Yeah. Oh, they lost Helsinki. Where did they move their capital to now? Where did they go? Where'd you go? Not in Arabia or Africa. Not in South America. Please don't say it's Seattle. No, it's not Seattle. Wait. Is it? No. They weren't smart about it. Where the hell did you guys move your capital to this time? It took forever to find you before. Where did you put it now? If you were smart, you'd put it in the big Asian colony somewhere. I don't think you're that smart, though. I don't fucking know. It's somewhere. They moved it again. How much did that hurt them? Oh, Jesus Christ. 26, so they could actually capitulate, like, soon. I don't know where they moved their capital to. That's my question. Where did it go? It's not in South America. Oh, it's in South America. It's in Rio. Oh, no. So if Rio falls, I think if Rio falls, that's it. I think we're going to see neutrality capitulate if that falls, which is going to give fascism a little bit of a boost because they're pretty close, too. They're 77%, but democracy is at 81% now, which is odd because democracy owns more land than fascism. Oh, I guess they did just lose, like, all of this. That is a lot to lose. Very, very important areas to lose to. It's not good. Democracy has their capital in Canberra, though, so it's going to be difficult to capitulate them, but it's still doable without taking Canberra, I think, if they take all of India, because India is worth a lot of points. But we'll see, because Delhi itself is 15. Is that all Delhi's worth, really? Well, that'd be more than that. And you got Bombay here at 10. You've got Hyderabad. You've got Calcutta. It's 5. Dhaka is only 1 for Dhaka. I think they've been reduced, if I'm honest. Well, communism only has a little pocket there. They still have Indochina. They pushed back again, but they've lost all of that. So the fascists now are just pushing north in what's left of the communism up here. Democrats have been split up in Korea and Manchuria. Jesus Christ. Good lord. I'm just concerned with Rio. The neutralists are pushing back, though. They might actually... they're not out of the running yet, I don't think. They're starting to push back against the communists. The communists are having trouble with the fascists as well. So... this could still turn in anybody's favor. This could still go. I just want to see who capitulates first. Who is the first ideology to go down? That's what I want to know. That's really what I want to know. Democracy's last holdings in Europe are starting to falter. I love how fascism still has Bremen and Hanover. I find that funny. They're still fighting for that. Democracy's final struggle. Neutrality still has some units sitting up in Murmansk. So, I mean, it's not really over for them either. They could still fight. They're almost fully equipped divisions. They've got a port. As long as they can defend Murmansk, they're alright. It's just defending Murmansk. Also, did they navally invade here, or did they just own this? No, they didn't navally invade. They just owned it. Nobody's taken it from them yet. Which is freaking amazing. I can't believe that. This is very messy wars. What do we have casualty-wise total here? So neutrality has 2.19 mil casualties in their main war. If we look at communism, oops, hello Stalin. Communism sitting at 2.5 million casualties. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. We've got... I need a democracy area. Democracy has 2 million even. And... no, fascism. Hello, Hitler. Fascists are at 2 million. So the communists have taken the most casualties, definitely. And the neutralists have taken the least, I do believe. Neutralists has only taken... oh, never mind. No, they haven't. 2.23. So never mind. I take that back. They have taken quite a lot of casualties. They're pushing back in South America, though. They might still live for a little while longer. I mean, they're close to capitulating, but they're not too close yet. I mean, it really depends on what happens if the communists fully take over this area here. Will they capitulate? Same with, like, they're losing Africa. So, like, they're gaining land here, but they're losing just as much. So that's why they haven't really swayed very much. And South American land really isn't worth too much. Now they're fighting the fascists, too. The fascists have been doing fairly well in Argentina. And they're doing quite well, too, up here. They've united the land here and taken the Democrats fully out of it. Democrats are going to be taken fully out of North America sooner than later. Neutrality holds just this little area here. It's all that's left. So God help their souls. Oh, they own this little bit here, but they could get killed just by one of them walking in. And fascism, they had a little pushback in Quebec, but they ultimately, it didn't amount to anything at all. It's just sad. It's just sad. South America is the only toss-up that could go to any side. It's the only one. Communism has Europe fully under its control. North America, pretty much the same. Asia could still kind of go in Democrats' direction. They still have a decent military. The communists as well are holding out in pockets of Indochina, northern China. Fascists have the southern China they're holding on to. I think that's where most of their units are probably still at. Yeah, they have a good amount of divisions sitting in there. Neutralities, that's their biggest holdings still. But it's not looking too great for them anymore. Soon it'll be Africa or South America will be their biggest holding, which isn't good. It's not good. They might be able to defeat everybody in South America here, but the communists in North America are definitely going to give them a run for their money. Oh, they set up a fallback. So I wonder if that'll stall the communists for pushing into the maritime provinces. I don't know. Probably not. Oh, peace conference is over. Neutrality has capitulated to the communists. Fully to the communists. Oh my god. The communists took everything. Holy shit. So how does that shake stuff up? So the communists are still a little bit. Democrats are looking at 86%, which is not good. And the fascists are at 79% to capitulation. So the communists now have full control of neutrality's land, which also means they have full control of their factories. So communism looks like it's probably going to win this. Unless there is a massive upset, they're probably going to take the victory. I wonder if the fascists can consolidate, because the communists don't have too many divisions in Africa right now. Oh, never mind. They're starting to flow in. They could... It's just, who's going to capitulate last before the communists win? Will fascism hang on, or will the Democrats hang on? It depends on who loses this land fastest, or Africa fastest. The communists now have a firm control and grasp of South America, so they could probably kick the fascists out of Argentina now. All they have to do is defend against them in the north, and then push on them later. Wow, I didn't see that coming right away. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So neutrality could not hang on. The monarchy is dead. We are down to 2 totalitarian style and 1 electorate style. And oh my god, look at the friggin' communist divisions. Holy shit. They are pouring in. Oh my good god. The fascists, they just don't have the troops. They don't have the troops to defend that northern border. There's no way. Same with the Democrats. They just don't have the troops to defend that. Like, it's an absolute madhouse. Complete and utter slaughter, honestly. Holy shit. That was incredible. Neutrality was obviously keeping the world kind of together in a way that they could still hold the land, you know? They just squandered it. Oh my good god. Like holy shit. Alright, sorry about that. Just had my mother unexpectedly drop by for a visit, which is always nice. Always nice to see your mother. But yes, we were back. The neutrality is dead. Democrats are holding on, so are fascists to a degree. Fascism, of course. I think if they lose China, there's a good chance that'll be it for them as well. Although Democrats, probably the same, really. I think they lose their strongholds in Asia. They're both going to capitulate, most likely. A lot of their stronghold, too, in Europe for democracy is really going to hurt them that last little bit. They are at war in Plymouth now. The communists have attempted to invade. The Democrats are holding. They've got a defensive position there. There's only the one tile that the communists can invade from, so good chance they'll hold Plymouth for at least a little while, but if they do lose it, that is 10 victory points. That's actually quite a lot. I don't think there's really any victory points left here, because Helsinki already fell, so I really don't think there is any left in here for them really to lose. Like 1 or 2 maybe, but nothing too extreme. That won't capitulate the Democrats, that's for sure. They're being murdered in North America. In North America now, I don't think democracy really has much of a shot. There's a few units still fighting in northern Canada and area, but they're really getting kind of surrounded and completely outgunned. Same with the fascists. They have a few units attempting to defend what's left of Maine and the maritime Canadian provinces here, but that's pretty much what they have left. They're on a defensive line, trying to defend it. The fascists in Mexico as well are fighting. They're doing their best, but they could get surrounded at any time here, which isn't good for them at all. Yeah, and they're still fighting a little bit on Baja. There's one unit on Baja California there, so see if they can hold at all. But yeah, it's not looking good for anybody but communism. So communism looks like it's going to be the dominant ideology here. It's just kind of a countdown of who falls. So whoever falls next will end it there, because the remaining one will not hold up against the communists. So we want to see, will fascism hold out longer than democracy, or vice versa? It's hard to say. Really hard to say. Or could they just pull back and somehow win? I doubt it, but that would be really hilarious if they somehow managed to team up enough. I mean, they're at war with each other, but, you know, not attack each other's line enough to actually kill communists. That would be pretty funny. I don't think it's plausible, but it would be pretty damn hilarious. The big thing is the communist troops that are dedicated to fighting democracy here in Europe will soon be dedicated. Did I see 50? Hold on. Oh no, that's communist division. So I thought it was 50 some democratic, and I'm like, wow. I knew they were losing a lot there, but I didn't think they were losing that much. That's kind of crazy. They're still losing a lot of units, to be fair, but yeah, soon these divisions will be able to attack elsewhere, so reinforce lines in Africa and the Asian line as well. So I don't know how well they're doing in Africa. I don't think they've dedicated as much, because the fascists own about half of the continent. They own the southern and most of the mid half of the continent right now, which is quite impressive, actually. Good for them. I think that's fascism's biggest holding right now, land-wise at least. The communists are slowly killing off the remaining fascists in Argentina bit by bit. They're surrounding and murdering them brutally. It's so sad. It's taking them a while to do it, though, to be fair. I'm also surprised how well this mod actually runs. If you look at the clock, it's slower than, like, the start, but it's not agonizing. So it's kind of interesting how it's managed to stay afloat so nicely. Quite impressed. There is look at how many communist units are right here. A lot of them are very, very weak, though, and very disorganized. They have a lot of equipment, but they're very disorganized. That's probably part of the reason why they can't quite clinch it so quickly. It's because they are very disorganized. That's one of the biggest falls that the communists seem to have right now. Is their organization is actually pretty pathetic overall. That's why they haven't been able to completely crush one of these ones here. Although fascism seems to be going down the tube faster than the Democrats. The Democrats seem to be able to hold a nice front, but the fascists are just collapsing in quite quickly, which is not good for the fascists. Are the Democrats actually fighting on the Horn now? So the Democrats have actually put units on the Horn. So they're actually trying to fight back on the Horn of Africa now. So they're trying to keep their Somaliland and Djibouti areas. They've also invaded Eritrea as well. They just linked up that Eritrea front. So they took back Asmara here, the port, and they've linked up their Eritrean port area here at Port Sudan. Oh, actually in Sudan. Wow. So they actually climbed up quite a way. So they're trying to create some sort of front there. The fascists are actually pushing a little bit on this end, on the African west coast. So Africa's actually not looking great for the communists, although they seem to be pouring some more units into it now. I'm guessing the Democrats have been defeated. Yeah, the Democrats have been defeated. So these Scandinavian units now are repositioning themselves, and it looks like they're mostly headed to Africa, which makes sense. The fascists are crumbling very slowly in Asia, and then once the fascists crumble there, well, the Democrats will be all that remains, and they can focus that huge army on them. So they'll probably collapse after that. The Democrats are holding quite well in Korea as well, although they've had some surroundings here, which isn't good for the remaining troops of democracy. How's fascism looking here? They may not crumble. They're 85%. They may not crumble with the loss of Asia here. I think Africa would be more devastating, and then North America as well will be pretty devastating as that slowly crumbles. But the communists have pretty much cleaned up Argentina. Just a few port holdings left, and one non-port holding now. So they're just kind of trying to kick them out. It looks like they're on the retreat. The fascists are going to... If they were smart, they would abandon this and then send their troops to reinforce their Central American divisions, because they're getting beat back here now pretty easily. How are the Democrats doing up in the north? Poorly! They're holding on north of Vancouver. It looks like they're trying to push back into Vancouver. They had Seattle, now they don't. So they don't actually have a port here now, which isn't good. Oh, no, they do, actually. Oh, no, they don't. They actually don't have a port on Vancouver Island. Wow. Okay. No port in Victoria. Sure. That's totally realistic. Whatever. Also, Vancouver Island looks fucking weird. Why is it inlet like that? Why is this island so strange in this game? It's not hard to draw this island. Haida Gwaii looks fine, but Vancouver Island looks fucked up. Oh well. Oh, and there's some Democratic units in Oregon, by the looks of it too. So they navally invaded parts of Oregon, and are holding on to that. Poor string. They haven't been able to push back the fascists in Maine, which I'm quite impressed by. Or at least they haven't tried. So that's actually quite good for the fascists, for holding on at least. The Democrats are 87 and the fascists are 88. So either or could fall. The fascists have less divisions at this point. The Democrats still have a fair amount of divisions. They're still holding. The communists now have over 1,000. So the communists now are pure domination, like just purely dominating. Oh, the fascists lost their uptick, so the Scandinavian divisions came into Africa and completely annihilated that fascist uprising going on in Africa. That's a damn shame, because like they were doing very well for a little while there. The Democrats have pushed out a little bit, but they're probably going to get quashed here sooner than later. They've surrounded a division there north of Port Sudan, and they're headed south towards the Asmara. And then there's just nothing else defending it. So, Democrats, if you were smart, you would stick with defending your Indian territory and your Korean area. If you have any intelligence, you'd be defending that. You would abandon North America and South America in their entirety and defend the Pacific theater. And just hold on to that for as long as possible. I'd be full on abandoning it by now. Really, there's nothing in Hanoi is only 1 point. That's actually quite surprising. That's very surprising. The communists are getting close to a lot of these big port cities that are actually worth quite a bit of points and stuff. Nanning, for example, is worth 10. You've got Hong Kong in here. Oh, Hong Kong is not fascist. They're actually owned... Who the fuck are they owned by? Oh no, they are fascist. What? Or they're just not owned by anybody. They're just not owned by anybody. Okay, that's interesting. Well, okay, that's weird. Well, yeah, they got Guangzhou, Macau, a bunch of ports and stuff like that they own, so it's going to cost them. That could cost them the game. They're getting pushed down there. That could cost them the game. The Democrats, though, are getting pushed in Korea, and there's a lot of points in Korea with Seoul, Pyongyang, Busan, Vladivostok. They own Vladivostok. They own the port here, which I think used to be Port Arthur, but yeah, Dalian, they own that. So that's a lot of points to lose, too. So, I mean, again, and they're very close. Very close. Fascism's now 92%. They only own 26%. The Democrats at 29%. So again, the fascists lose these ports along the coast here in China. I think that's it. The Democrats could continue to hang on. They're still defending the frontier on the Indian border and north of Nepal and in parts of southern Tibet. I think they still hold on to Lhasa even. Or if they don't, it wasn't far. Oh no, they do. There's Lhasa right there. Yeah, so they still actually hold Lhasa, which is good. So they're fighting in southern Tibet, and I think they're getting into the Indian frontier now. So I think, yeah, that's Kabul. Oh no, so they're in Pakistan. So they're fighting in Pakistan, parts of Pakistan. So they could actually hold on for a bit longer, and they have more divisions to defend that line. Fascism, you're not looking very healthy here. Don't lose. They're hanging on in America, though. To be fair, they've lost land, but that line's holding better than anywhere else. Their African offensive has fallen completely apart. The Democrats, though, they're doing okay. I say that, and then one of them gets cut off. They were defending better, at least, than anybody else in Africa. The fascists collapsed way faster. So the Democrats' capability to resist is still very strong. But they just won't last very long once the fascists collapse. They don't have anybody on this line, really. So the communists are just going to get in there. Plus, they've got these units here surrounded, and that's a no-go zone. So these guys either are going to die or run away. Really depends on what happens, but they could get surrounded here, which won't be good. Oh no, look at the fascists just collapse in on themselves. Looks like they're trying to defend Gunzhou, which is smart. They're attempting to defend the cities. Did they lose Hanoi? Oh, they lost Hanoi. I don't think we're far from 93%. Oh. They may survive this. They may survive this. Barely. Like, they can't lose fucking anything else. Ooh, the Democrats, though. Look at that friggin' fight. Oh, my God. The communists are really pushing in on that Korean territory now. They really don't like the Democrats resisting so much. They really hate it. It's really not good. Oh, man. They can take... oh, it's Hanoi still. So they retook Hanoi somehow. The fascists. The Democrats have kicked the communists fully out now. I don't think there's any units in there. They don't own a port, so... that's really not good for them. Good job, democracy. You managed to kick the communists out of somewhere. Mostly. That's quite impressive. The fascists now are fighting for Macau and Guangzhou and all these ports. Oh no. Is that... oh, so there's 10 divisions in there. So if they cut them off here, that's 10 divisions cut off. They have 2 ports, so they'll stay afloat for a while. But it's really not good. Really not good. What are we at? 94%. Have they made gains anywhere? No, they're still losing in Africa. The good thing about Africa is there's not a whole lot to gain until you get into South Africa, like Cape Town and Johannesburg and stuff. Yeah, they fully kicked them out of South America besides up here, so... looks like the communists are more interested in taking the Democrats out before they attack the fascist line. The fascists, though, are getting beat up in Mexico now. They were holding on quite well. I think they've actually... yeah, they haven't moved in the Baja there. The Democrats still holding on to the faint hope that Vancouver is their lifeblood. So they've held Vancouver. They've lost Seattle in the fight there. So they're trying to hang on to Vancouver, which is pretty smart because it's a city. The communists have pushed the fascists back into parts of southern New Brunswick and very northern Maine. So that's really not good. Have the fascists collapsed here yet? No, they've actually pushed in one area there because they didn't have that bubble. Good job on getting a bubble. And the Democrats now pretty much lost Korea at this point. It's a lost cause. They're pushing down. The Democrats could still... they're 89% compared to the fascists, which are, what, 94 still? 94% still. Mostly because the communists haven't been able to move in on these port cities. They're holding the port cities quite well. I'll give them that. Problem now is the Democrats have to deal with this wave of communists that were attacking the fascists. There's a helicopter outside. It's really annoying. They have to deal with these guys. And they don't like it. And I don't blame them. I don't like it either. Well, these communists here and stuff, they really should focus on the fascists. Just wipe them completely. Just take them completely out. Still a few fighting in there. Looks like fighting's mostly stopped along this line. They're focusing on the Democrats now. Ooh, they got a big bubble in there. Couple of units cut off. Not good. Look at communism, though. Oh my god. It almost rules the globe. It's so very close. So very, very close. I'm surprised they're not pushing on here, because they could easily surround them now. They don't have a port. Take this port here, cut them off completely. You'd wipe them out. The fascists just make a push there? I think they did. Good for them. They're trying. They're fighting back a little bit. Is there a Democrat in there somewhere? No. No. They still own Plymouth? How the fuck are you guys not able to take that from, what is it, 3 guys? It's 3 guys. Come on. Jesus. It's pathetic. Navally invade right there and just surround him. He has no port. He's dead. Fuck me. Can't believe it. This is ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Ooh, that's Korea. Completely gone. My god. Goodbye them. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that. 110, 115 to 10 divisions. There's nothing in here now. So they could just take it down. There's a few defending in the north here. Vladivostok still being defended. These, oh, that's so many divisions surrounded. The Democrats could actually still fall. They're catching up with they're 90%, 94% still for fascism. The fascists haven't lost anything. They've defended very successfully on this last little bit. They're not, the communists aren't able to really push very well. Like, they're trying their best. Apparently my girlfriend was just hit in the head with something. One of the kids smacked her in the head. I think it's her head. Oh, they've cut off these 2 sections now. Oh, that's not good. So whatever's remaining in here is it to defend. They can't take any of these to pull back in. That fucking helicopter. Why are you flying so close? What are you looking for? God. Okay, so... Oh, the Democrats actually wiped those communist troops out. Wow, I'm surprised. They, like, managed to kill off a few of those commie troops. What do we got casualty-wise? 3.58 million, 2.99, 1.98 for the fascists. Wow. That's quite a lot of... It's a lot of dead people. Too many damn dead people. All in the name of ideology. Oh, I feel bad. Oh no, they're really close to falling in Guangzhou. Uh-oh. That's a big loss if that falls. That's a really big loss if that falls. They got 2 defending it, and they really can't seem to get organized very well. 1 is on a defensive, though, which is good. Oh, now there's 3. They moved 1 from the Macau defense. Looks like he's trying to, like, rejoin. Take some stuff back. He'll get into there. Yeah, there he goes. Uh-oh. It's not a strong enough unit to defend that. Well, maybe it is. That's the big problem. The communist divisions, there's a lot of them. Look at their organization. Look at that. Look at that. They're equipped, yes, but oh my god, they're fucking scattered. Like, that's the reason they can't take that port. They should take that easily. They have hundreds of divisions in this area. They should be slaughtering both of these. But they're not. They just can't do it. Because their organization is piss poor. Like, just piss poor. Oh, they've managed to surround them there. They'll probably retreat into the island before they give up. Ooh, if they can, the communists might cut them off completely. That would be bad. That would not be good. It looks like they're trying to start to retreat south. I don't blame them. Get out of there. Get into that island. Defend this area right here. Like, just defend quickly before you lose it. The commies are winning on a lot of these fronts now. The Democrats have held very well. I'm super surprised at how well they're holding against such an onslaught. Like, it's weird. It's very strange. I'm surprised they haven't completely collapsed. Like, look at these numbers. 1, 1, 24, 43. The communists are just really bad at supplying their troops with, well, organizing their troops, I should say. So all of this should have fallen by now. With what's defending it, they should have easily wiped this out. The fact that they haven't is actually just depressing, because the fascists are on their last legs. The 96%. 96%. Like, they lose any major city, they're done. Ooh. They're pushing them back to the island now. That's not good. Ooh. But they can't, yeah, they can't. They've surrounded pretty much this city here, but they just can't take it. They can't take it or Macau. Macau. I don't know. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that, honestly. Like, they fully surrounded it. They just suck. They suck so hard. It's so bad. Like, even though the fascists are on the brink of collapse, they're able to supply and organize their troops better than super sophisticated army here. Like, the Democrats are even pushing out a little bit here. And the Democrats still haven't lost this area here. Djibouti, Eritrea, and northern Somalia. The fascists are still losing, for the most part, their African claims. Pew pew. Goddamn. Oh shit, yep, okay. So they pushed them down. So most of the, like, exciting fighting is happening in there. Oh, they've managed to push them here. Why are this there? Wait, what? What? Hold on, what? Oh, they navally invaded, but they didn't take anything? That's weird. Oh, so there's those final 3 fascist divisions in North America. May they rest in peace. The Democrats have hung on to Vancouver, which is quite admirable. There's not as much commie divisions, though, in North America. There's very few in comparison. Like, very few. Although they're pushing the fascists down now. They're pushing them in South America, so they'll sandwich them eventually. Which isn't good. I think fascism's biggest holding now is still Africa, but Central America is pretty much their last true holdout. Unless they can hang on to this city here. Oh, Macau, and they're both fully surrounded now. That could be their surrender. That could be. They're at 90 what? 7? 96? They just lost Macau. Did they go up a percentage? No, it's still 96. So now this is fully surrounded. Guangzhou is fully surrounded. They're fighting for the island now, too. There's no fascist divisions sitting in there anymore. So once they lose that, that's it. That's it for Asia, at least, for the fascists. Like, they control a little bit, but... Because they have Japan still. Nobody's navally invaded that Japanese islands yet, which is quite surprising. Because there's still... I mean, there's a few fascists sitting in it, but they could easily invade it. I don't know why they haven't. These guys here are just adamantly defending now. These guys here are desperately defending. they'll get overrun here sooner than later. And then there's Africa and North America. Now it's pretty much... What are the Democrats at right now? Democrats are at 90%. 97% for the fascists now. Which is bad. It's so bad. So bad. I feel so bad for the fascists. I can't believe I'm saying that. I feel bad for fascism. I really? Seriously? Is that really what I feel bad for? They're starting to lose their organization and stuff there soon, so the communists will turn this fight around here sooner than later. Can't get any more reinforcement. Well, they could by sea, maybe, but there's commie fleets around, so that might not be the best idea. Some convoys and destroyers. It's an actual fight that went on there. I don't know who won it, but... Ooh, they just took the island. Or they're taking the island. They surrounded all of those fascist divisions. Oh no. So once they're dead, this is it for mainland Asia. These 3 guys, and they're losing. That cavalry division's dead. Oh shit. Just what's left of those 2 infantry divisions now. Good lord, it's just a slaughterhouse. Yep, they've fully taken that island. So, to that, 97 still, so still 22%. Whoa, hello. Jesus. Aren't you trying to do something? Oh my. Back to the Democrats here. Oh, they took it. They took Guangzhou. They actually took it. So now they're on a major offensive against the Democrats. 21% for the fascists. Oh my god. This is going down to the wire, because now the communists are making an offensive on democracy's last hold point. So they're 91%. Fascists are 2% away from capitulating. Yeah, 2% from capitulation. So that means they lose... What's major in here that they could lose? Well, they just lost that. San Salvador is also 3. That's 3. So those there are a good couple. So actually quite a lot in Central America could eventually have them capitulate. Africa as well, they're starting to get down into some more valuable areas, like Cape Town. It's worth 10. 3 for Natal. I think this is... Oh, Transvaal. Okay, 10 for Transvaal. It's a lot for Transvaal. 1 for the Mozambique area here. Yeah, so they're starting to get down to that wire. 98%. Oh my god. This is coming down to the wire. What's democracy gone up at all? No, they're still 91%. So they're still hanging tough, to be fair. They're still hanging tough. They're really taking a beating on that line, though. Like, a huge beating. I love it, though, because the casualties, like, 2.6 to 3.4. I'm surprised the communists don't have more casualties than that. They're only 1% towards capitulation right now, which is insane. It's honestly insane. I'm trying to think of what they owned that they still don't own. That would get them that 1%. Africa, maybe? I don't know. I'm not actually sure why they're 1% from capitulation. That really is kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Still some fighting and stuff going on there. Communists still have like a... Yeah, they got like a stupid amount of shit going on. Oh, fascism! How you doing? You're getting murdered, so you have nothing here. So they're just gonna take all of Central America with no resistance. Oh, that's a terrible idea. You're so close to dying. Why would you let that happen? Ah. Like your last mainland holdings and stuff are slipping beneath the waves. Between your fingers. Well, you're actually defending Nova Scotia. Oh, how nice. I'm glad that Nova Scotia is ruled by Hitler. My old home province. Whereas my current home province is ruled by communists, but is being defended. Oh, is that it? That's it. That's it. They're dead. They capitulated to the communists. Completely capitulated to the communists. That is it, everybody. Communism wins. Because democracy is not going to survive. There's no way. There's no way they can. So I'm going to end it because it's getting just very long. Yes, communism has won against the ideologies. Good job, communism. I guess we'll chalk that as the USSR. Thank you much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.